This is the Town Plan and Zoning Commission. I'm Shannon Rutherford, the town planner. And roll call of commission members. We have Bob Canto,
Here.
Phil Cordero.
Here.
Note Josh Davidson is absent. David St. Germain.
Here.
Peter Zarella.
Here.
Liz Sanford.
Here.
And our alternates, Lisa Fagan. Here. Rob Ingvertson.
Here.
And Taylor Pogson.
Here.
Madam Chair, it's all yours.
Okay, let's begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excuse me. Well, thank you for coming. Welcome to the Town of Farmington Plan and Zoning meeting for Wednesday, May 27th. We have one piece of housekeeping to do since we are down Josh Davidson. Taylor, are you up to and feeling able to act, be an acting commissioner?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much. Okay. So let's begin the evening with new business. And can I have, and I'm going to do the best I can with your name, Seth Kalansaria. Please come on up and state your name and make a presentation to the commission.
Hello, I'm Seth. I'm a Life Scout in Troop 170 of Unionville, and I'm working towards my Eagle Scout rank. I'm here to present to you my Eagle Scout proposal to replace an existing kiosk on the Farmington Canal Heritage Trail to gain the town's site plan approval from the town of Farmington. So as you can see here, I've attached a document with 10 slides. Here's the aerial map, and it shows where exactly it is. It's at the Red Oak Hill crossing at the Farmington Canal Heritage Trail, right north of the crossing and west of New Britain Avenue. And right here we have is the design. So the previous kiosk had a design that didn't really stand, the elements couldn't withstand it. So I proposed, and with help of the town, to get this design, which would help it last for a lot longer time. So it has a design like this, and its main dimensions are 7 feet from the ground to the post at the roof, and has an 8-foot width from roof to the end of roofs. And yeah, it's basically the rough dimensions, and then it's going to be a 4x4 information panel. So over here, like I just mentioned, are the images of the previous kiosk. It's still standing there, and I wish to demolish it. As you can see, it couldn't withstand the elements as it's taken a lot of damage and the wood is deteriorating. The glass is also starting to fall apart. As you can see in that image, it's starting to break apart, and which kind of shows that the glass and the wood are in need for new replacement and rebuild. And when I plan to do this project, I plan to move the kiosk back so it'd be easier for the people to read. And the grass that's supposed to be in the area will be regrown during my time working on the project. So if you have any questions, please let me know, but thank you for listening. And I also want to thank you all and Ms. Rutherford for having me in your agenda today to present to you my project.
Thank you very much. Now it's our turn to ask you questions.
Yes.
So I'm going to start over with Bobby. Any questions?
No questions at this time. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Phil?
Can you come back to me, please?
Certainly.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I don't have any questions. It's very informative. Thank you.
Okay, great. Dave?
Thanks for your presentation. Can you tell me how you came up with this idea and Why changing it from what it was before to this?
So last year when I was looking for project ideas, I was looking around the town of Farmington to see. I was hoping to do a building project, rebuild something or build something new. And I was looking around, and a lot of the adults in our troop suggested to me, "Oh, there's a new kiosk that needs to be rebuilt, and it's really bad condition." So I thought, okay, that's a good idea. I came, went, took a look at it. I'm like, okay, this seems like a really good project. And from there on, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna confirm this is my project, and I started building it.
And what's going on the face of that's what's facing out?
In the panel.
Yeah.
So we're gonna obtain maps. I'm talking to Ron Gorelski from the Farmington Valley Trails Committee, and also by obtaining the maps, we're gonna put new and updated information about the history of the Farmington Canal Heritage Trail, as well as the whole map ranging the for the whole state of Connecticut.
Is there something on both sides?
Yes, it'll be both sides.
Any lighting for this?
Not that I planned of.
All right, thanks very much.
Great. Okay, we'll go right down the line. Lisa?
I don't have any questions, but it's a great presentation. I like the design that it's covered as opposed to uncovered. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Rob?
No questions. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, and Taylor?
Yeah, I appreciate your presentation as well. I thought that was really well done. I do see that you're using some pressure treated decking. Is the whole thing going to utilize pressure treated lumber? Because that might be a good idea, just so it does withstand everything.
Yes, it will use pressure treated lumber.
For the whole thing?
Yes, for the whole
Awesome. Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Taylor.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll swing back to you, Phil.
And I still have no questions.
Oh.
It looks like exactly what I would expect at the entrance to a trail. Like, good luck on the project.
Thank you.
Okay, and Bobby, did anything come up for you?
Just one quick question.
Yeah.
What's your anticipated timeline on it? How long do you think it's going to take you to build?
So I'm hoping to schedule around 3 work parties. The first one is going to be at Sanford and Holly, where I'm getting all the materials from. I'm going to assemble all the wood, cut everything that I need to get the proper dimensions. And I'm going to have 2 more, totaling to 3 work parties to actually build the kiosk and finalize it.
And then remove.
And then, yeah, and I'm hoping to do this late summer, July to August, and have it done hopefully by the fall.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Okay, great. Well, Seth, thank you for your presentation. It's very
Thank you.
informative. And one question first. Is the current sign, is that anchored in with cement? Are you going to have to excavate? the
Sorry.
posts?
Yes, we will have to excavate the cement
Okay.
and then
You're gonna
re-cement it. Yeah.
re-cement it, but you said you were moving it back?
Yes, we're gonna move it back.
Okay, well, that's great. I think this is a wonderful project, and as the mother of an Eagle Scout who built kiosks, they come in handy and they're great. And thank you for thinking of helping your community. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, did you have a question,
Yeah,
Rob?
just one thing. I noticed on the drawing for the roof assembly, it says wood shake shingles. Is that what you're using?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if you were using those or asphalt.
Yeah, I'll be using.
Okay.
Right.
And just one suggestion, make sure you do call before you dig, because I know at one point there was a line that went through there
Okay,
at one time.
got it. Thank you.
Will you be hand digging I'm assuming hand digging the foundations? Hand
Yes.
digging, okay,
All right, then, yeah.
yeah. No, and we'll just be notified because we'll coordinate with you the placement. Since there's a roof, that edge, we got to make sure the roof edge is on the outside of the trail and not overhanging the trail. So I know
Got it.
you're going to move it back,
Yes.
but we'll just coordinate to make sure it's back far enough so nobody, I realize it's 7 feet up, but make sure somebody on a bike or something or scooter doesn't clip the edge of that.
Got it.
So.
Yeah.
But that's easy enough.
I'll be coordinating with that. Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, so thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Seth. You could have a seat. Now, if we're all set, I need a motion and a second regarding this.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the application made by Seth Kalensaria for approval for this Eagle Scout project to remove existing deteriorated kiosk and replace with a new kiosk on the Farmington Canal Heritage Trail at 8560 New Britain Avenue at the Red Oak Hill Crossing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, the motion carries. Congratulations, Seth, and happy digging. Okay, our next item for business is Walpole Outdoors.
Good evening, Commissioners. Attorney James Iogus, 104 Bellevue Avenue for the applicant. This property is located at 170 Scott Swamp Road, and it's located on the northerly side. Formerly owned by DOT, was purchased by another client of mine, Dan Pizzaferrata, who appeared before this commission in April of 2024 and received a special permit and site plan approval for this site. Our application tonight is merely for a site plan modification. What we're trying to do here is Walpole has taken possession of one of the buildings, the front building there that Shannon is showing to you. And it has visibility on the street, but it doesn't have enough visibility. And what they're looking to do is to put up 3 items. One of them that is already there, there's a shed that's existing on the property, and that shed is being used as a construction building for Mr. Pizzaferrata as he finishes the back buildings. Once he's done with that, he will abandon that site, and Walpole would like to put up a new shed, a decorative shed there, not to exceed 200 square feet, and replace it in the same location that the current shed exists. In addition to that, they would like to put up a decorative fence, not more than 4 feet high, just as an illustration of what people can buy at Walpole. Most of us are familiar with Walpole, but it's a visual for people as they drive up and down Route 6. And then the third thing is a pergola, basically something like you'd see in your backyard. Again, just a demonstration and a beautification of the area, and that would be anchored into the ground. Shannon has mentioned that there are some galleys located under the ground there for the septic system, and we've been made aware of that, and the pergola will be set back to the north side so that they do not interfere with those galleys. There are a couple of pictures I think we provided to Shannon that we can show you and demonstrate what it is that we're looking to do. It's basically a normal shed, nothing fancy about it, but it's something that is certainly better than what's there right now. And eventually we will replace that shed with something along these lines. Again, excuse me, not to exceed 200 square feet. The next picture is a sample of the pergola that we might post on that property. Again, it'll be anchored into the ground, and we'll do it so it doesn't interfere with the galleys. And then the third thing is simply a decorative fence, like you see in almost anybody's backyard. And that'll be posted there just to show people who are driving by what's available at Walpole. So that's the extent of the modifications. And we're here asking for permission to do that. And they'd like to do it as soon as possible. So, here to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Okay, Bobby.
Thank you for the presentation. So all this stuff is over in the grassy area, if you will, so it's not going to impose on any
No
parking.
no sight lines, no parking areas. It's on the west side of the property.
Over by Jelly Beans.
Yes, exactly.
Is Walpole going to be manufacturing in that, or is that just going to be their like showroom and you're going to order from there and then?
You know, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if they're manufacturing inside the building or not. I just don't know. You know what, it wouldn't surprise me if they were putting together some of the apparatuses that they sell, because I know there are garage doors to the back of the property. So they may be storing it in their garages and then putting it together and delivering it off-site.
Okay. And then one thing that wasn't mentioned in here, which kind of honestly surprised me, they're not asking for a mailbox stand.
No.
Okay.
I see them all over the place.
It's
That's why I'm
already
very
in it.
curious.
It's so they are using their mailboxes for the mailboxes on site.
Gotcha. Now it makes
And it
sense.
had to be moved. It was on, so there was a directional conflict. So it had been installed somewhere, I believe over here.
Okay.
And then there was an issue from a delivery standpoint and circulation and whatever. So I believe it's been moved, but it is being used for the-
Actual mail.
Right.
Okay, now it makes sense.
Not a flower box.
Um, All right. Yeah, I'm fine. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Bobby. Phil?
Thank you. I was having a little bit of trouble understanding where this is going. There's already the one building on the site. Is Walpole going in that building or a building?
Walpole is in the building that's facing Route 6. They're already there. The building's built and occupied.
Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought it was full with other tenants already.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're one of the four. There's three tenants. The sheet metal company took the end two on the east side. I can't remember who's in the middle. And Walpole is on the west end.
Okay.
And I guess your question really supports the proposition that many people don't know they're there.
Right.
And it's not good for business. And that's why we need to at least put something out on the street that shows them and gives us some visibility.
All right. Thank you for that. No, I have no further questions.
Okay, thank you. Peter?
Maybe I missed in the presentation, but what's the height of the fence? That'd be.
Not more than 4 feet.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dave?
No question.
Lisa?
I have no questions either. Thank you.
Okay, Rob?
No, I have no question.
Okay, and Taylor?
Yeah. Is Walpole responsible for maintenance of these? There'll be, if these things start getting lichen or, algae or whatever, is there plans to just keep an overall maintenance look of it?
Yeah, Walpole is responsible for it. And obviously, as part of their marketing plan, they want to keep them in good shape. Obviously, people are going to be looking at these things in order to purchase them so that they have an interest in keeping them clean and mold free, and they will be maintaining them.
Okay. Yeah, that was kind of my only question. Oh, and I guess the pergola sample that you showed us had furniture underneath. Is that also going to be part of it, or is it just going to be a standing pergola?
It's just going to be a standing pergola. Now, in the future, maybe a picnic table is not a bad idea for employee satisfaction. That could be something that they do, but it's just the pergola that we're requesting permission for.
Okay. Yeah, no further questions.
Thank you, Taylor. Most of my questions have been answered because you're set back, so the sight lines on Route 6 aren't being affected, and the driveway isn't going to be blocked in any way, and a 4-foot fence is easy to see over.
DOT owns a large piece of
Right.
property in front of us, so we do have a large setback there, but there is no interference with people entering or leaving the site.
Okay, great. I think that answers all of, oh, actually, I just thought no illumination or anything
No.
on these. Okay. Okay,
Actually, Liz, I just
Oh.
thought of something.
yes, one more question. Mhm.
And it might be a question for Shannon also. So I'm thinking of the shed that's there.
Mhm.
There's not going to be any type of signage on it, see inside for specs or any, like you go into the Lowe's parking lot, you see the one with the dimensions on it and all that. That's not.
No,
gonna be on it.
that's not part of the plan. The plan is just to show the shed, and people will see that with the pergola and the fence, and hopefully recognize that that's a Walpole product, and they'll stop in.
Okay.
Okay. All set?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate your presentation. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, any questions or anything? Are we ready? If not, I would like a motion and a second, please, on this action.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the application for site plan modification made by Walpole Outdoors to allow outdoor display at 170 Scott Swamp Road in the CR zone.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, the motion carries. You're very welcome. Good luck with that. Okay. Now we need to accept some applications for further for special permits. So I'm going to need a motion and a second for item 3 and item 4.
Right. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the application for a special permit site plan approval made by Savan Harton Rudy for a grocery store beer permit for a gas station located at 1387 Farmington Avenue in a B1 zone, and schedule a public hearing with the recommended hearing date of June 22nd, 2026.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and abstentions? Okay, great. We will take it up on the 22nd. Thank you. And item number 4.
Make a motion that we accept the application for a special permit and site plan approval made by Jason Levesque for a new single-family home in excess of 2,400 square feet living area and 3,200 square feet total area, an accessory structure in excess of 700 square feet at lot 8446 Main Street, also known as 10 Main Gate, in R20 zone, and schedule a public hearing with a recommended hearing date of Monday, June 22nd, 2026.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, thank you very much. The motion carries. Okay, and we have no public hearings this evening. So let's move on to Shannon. You're up.
I am up. So we were contacted by Mallory Industries, one of our businesses located on Spring Lane. They're located at 33 Spring Lane. And they are interested in installing a 180 square foot shed at the rear of their property. There's a rear access door with some stairs. Their loading dock is on the west side of the property. So this is to the rear. And really they're looking to store personal use lawn equipment in that shed. They had a lawn service for many years. They're looking to discontinue the lawn service and maintain the lawn themselves, really just as one of many budgetary things that they consider as they're looking at the balancing act that many businesses have to do. So the shed at 180 square feet doesn't even require a building permit. Any shed less than 200 doesn't, or any structure less than 200 doesn't require a building permit. We've been in touch with the owner, Mr. Fogler. He is more than happy to epoxy coat the bottom of the shed, as well as store any gasoline or lubricants in a secondary containment of some sort in case there is an accidental spill. And he confirmed that there would be no maintenance of the lawn equipment on premise, that it's a relatively new tractor mower that they've got. It would go back to Torrington if it needed service. So I think that covers everything I had in the agenda. It is in the property is in the FIP aquifer. Where the shed is going to be located is not. And interestingly, when we're dealing with aquifers and the limit is the limit. It doesn't encroach then and envelop the whole property. It's a very defined, specified limit regarding the underground hydraulics and the water movement for that aquifer. So we've had this over the course of years, a number of conversations with DEP regarding this. So they have chosen to register their building. So as we come through with the re-registrations this fall, you will see Mallory come through. But technically they weren't obligated to register because the building portion and where their activity is was outside the limit. So, and the shed will be outside the limit, but they will include all the best management practices. So if you're agreeable, we're going to let them go ahead and proceed under planner's report. I don't know that a site plan, full site plan modification is required for 180 square foot shed.
seems reasonable, but do you know how far? I'm just curious. Like
Oh.
how far it is from the limit of the aquifer?
So, I'm gonna guess like 50 feet-ish,
Oh,
roughly.
okay,
Um,
that's,
Yeah. Just looking from where the rear of the building is in relation to the aquifer limit. You can get
okay.
Spring Lane.
I think he's being pretty generous putting the gas in a secondary container.
Yeah,
don't know if
that's,
anybody,
I'm actually
know,
pretty
I don't-
impressed that he's
right? I don't know
very-
of anybody that does that in their own backyard.
Mhm. That's-
So when else did they do it, Mallory?
Well, yeah.
I'd have to look it back up. I honestly don't remember what their business is specifically.
See, I gotta let the kids all see what we have these cool tools online
Right.
to show
So
measurements.
from
areas.
the very back to the aquifer limit, I'm about somewhere between 85 and 90 feet.
Oh, that's okay.
So, and again, stored above ground. So even if, and we talk, there's no catch basins on site, they'll
Mhm.
fuel and refuel on the lawn area. So, and I know I do it at home when I go to fill, like inevitably there's just a little bit
Drip.
of overflow. It'll be on the lawn, it'll oxidize. It's not gonna go right into a catch basin or drainage system and down into the Scott Swamp. So
Okay.
I think and again, he's not maintaining it on the property and it's just for their own
Oh, it's a
personal
machine
use.
shop.
Yeah.
Highly complex and manufacture of highly complex machine parts and precision cams.
So tool, okay. So
Tool and die.
Tool and die service.
CNC. Yep.
Okay,
Okay, so
sounds good.
all in agreement, no need for. site plan.
Mhm.
Okay, next up, I gotta get to my right. Sit there. Sign regulation edits, the fellas and I sat Thursday or Friday afternoon and ran through, I'd say about 80% of the sign regulation. We did do a deep dive. It's gonna be the entire sign reg. This is gonna have to go to Bob DiCrescenzo. Garrett had conducted updates based on some case law regarding, I had asked him to look at color and find the case law that says we can't regulate color. So he got some of that, but then there's another element to this with respect to content. So, and then we went to, I can't remember if he said Greenwich or Glastonbury. One of them had done a very detailed revamp and went farther than I would have gone with removing elements from a content standpoint, like with respect to directional signs or open signs and things of that nature. So that we use track changes for all of this. So the edit's done. We're gonna ship it off to Bob DiCrescenzo. I might dial some of those edits back, assuming that Bob concurs and feels that the version we put forth to you would be defensible and not going to create further edits needed. So, so we're most of the way through the document between the three of us, which is fun having all three of us sit in a conference room and go through these things word by word. Because there's no strong opinions or personalities involved in that conversation. So anyhow, but we have, it actually went very well. We're probably, I'd say 80% through. We'll try to endeavor to finish that within the next 4 to 5 business days and then get it over to Bob D so that we can then get it in front of you. We'll do a discussion item under planner's report so that you all can take a look. And then if there's any kind of small tweaking or concerns, we'll deal with those. But then the intent would be to put forth an application and then have a hearing on it so that it can be formally reviewed and have public comment, et cetera, like we normally would. But we'll do a review under planners reports so that you all get a chance to see at a time. So that's where that stands. Plan of conservation and
Hang on,
development.
Shannon, one
Yes, sir.
quick, on that, when you talked about context, are we talking about graphics too?
Yeah, it would be,
Okay.
it would be
That's
everything.
right.
So, right, so, and obviously, when you start looking at religious signs or other organization signs, you know, we can't comment or edit content. But things like directional signs, right? If you're coming, you know, we want to try to keep it to just a business name and an arrow and not a full on, right? Make directional sign overly cumbersome, right? We want to try to keep that simplistic. Same with an open sign. We want it to just say open and not have a bunch of other things on it. It's seeing if there's a way that we can provide that direction, but allow the sign so that it serves its purpose without everything having branding and logos and everything on it. So that's what we're looking to try
where I
to
was
do, to
going
try
with
to keep those types of things simplistic because that's the intended purpose of them.
Okay.
So we will see where we get to with that. That's really the two kind of sticking points, if you will. Everything else was pretty perfunctory. Anything else on signs? Okay. POCD, 8 proposals were received on May 1st. I was unexpectedly out, as you were aware, so that is 6 days, takes, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks to try to get back on cycle. So we have gone through most of them, and we are meeting Friday to shortlist. The intent is to get from 8 to 4 and interview 4. The respondents were notified of the delay so that they weren't kind of left in the dark on things. So they are, I sent that email out Friday before the holiday weekend. I think we've got some solid opportunities with the respondents, and we should be in really good shape. So it should provide for, it's going to provide for some work for all of us, but we'll get into that as we move along. So I'm thinking we're going to end up adding a meeting a month for the next year so that we can kind of have a focus, and it might just be for half hour, an hour. We can decide if it's going to be Zoom, but the more I'm looking at this, I think an update once a month is going to be needed in order to keep everybody on track and to keep this going. So we'll, like I said, we'll dive into that more as we come into July and August. Any questions?
It's in the works. It's
in the works, yeah. Ground mounted solar. So this is one of those things that's not specifically in the regulation. And we, from a staff standpoint, have long used Article 4, Section 2 to, and this is for residential. Obviously, when we're talking about anything from a commercial or business standpoint, any site plan work, even something as small as 180 square foot shed, technically comes to you all for review, right? A resident putting in 180 square foot shed, you all have no idea. Fences go in all the time, right? We just do these things and take care of them and process them. It's not until the sheds start to get up to 550 or 700 square feet that they start coming to you folks for a review and comment. Ground mounted solar, while we don't have a lot of them, they do come up on occasion for Farmington for a variety of reasons. And we have historically processed them under the same accessory structure. So it's accessory structures to single family homes. It's not conforming lots, sorry, I went too far D, non-conforming. Buildings and structures accessory 1 to 4 family home. So it handles everything from sheds to pools to detached garages, etc.
Antennas, yeah.
So pools, tennis courts, I believe, are in here. So we have satellite dishes, which I'm not sure we use all that much anymore. But we have lumped in ground-mounted solar historically in here. And understanding that technically it is not listed specifically, it's been a appropriate bucket to put it in. We would like to formalize this. I think there's, in 2 other conversations that have taken place this year regarding the regulation, that instead of letting it go, update it and get it corrected so that it matches the practice. So unless there's an objection, that will be another text amendment coming. There are other things to do in the accessory structure. I don't know that I'm going to tackle that at the moment, considering we're chewing on signs. We've got this ground mounted solar to contend with. Garrett's got Housing Bill 8002 that he's working on. We're actually at a seminar tomorrow, 2-hour seminar with CROG on that tomorrow, so that we can finalize the text amendment for that. And there's FEMA regs definition text amendments that are coming up that have to be done. So, which is the next topic. So if everyone's in agreement and there's no objection, we're going to go ahead and, again, this will come forth. It'll be a text amendment with a formal application. We'll set a hearing. I don't think there's going to be a lot to it. So unless there's an objection, I think I'm going to just go ahead with the application. If we need to tinker with it during the hearing, I think we're going to be fine. I don't think there's anything that's going to warrant a huge conversation on this, or hopefully not. Okay.
Is there a spec on it? Like I see the 25 feet and 15, but is there an actual spec on? I'm just thinking like solar's going to have electricity running through it. Like, do they have 3 feet with caution tape and all that? Is there a spec?
So we'll do, so that will fall more from a building department standpoint for the install on that. So
Yeah.
that'll have to follow the best, all the building code requirements for trenching and pulling that back to the house, and the switch gears on the house will all fall to the building department.
Okay.
So this is really just the placement of the solar field. And there's some erosion control things to be considered and some stormwater runoff. And there's some best management practices that DEP has in place. And granted, those are for the really megawatt solar fields that go in, but it can be appropriate, and we have appropriately scaled it at times, rather than trying to get lawn under them, some stone, and then some screening on the non-shades, or on the non-panel side, right? So there's a ability to get some buffering in without diminishing the efficiency of the panels. So,
Okay, cool.
okay, I'm seeing general head nods.
Yes,
No
sounds good.
problem, concern. Okay, we're gonna continue on with that then. Final one that I had for you is FEMA mapping and updates to regulations. We received a letter week and a half ago from FEMA indicating the maps. So they have been working on updated maps for Farmington for a couple of years now. The maps have been finalized. There's a final legal notification that is done, and they have set an effective date of, I want to say, November 13th of 2026. So at that point, then all of our mapping will switch over to their new mapping. We get official hard copy mapping, and we get GIS files. So there's cross sections, there's stream sections, there's quite a lot that goes into it. In addition to that, there's some regulation changes that are required, and this will impact our Article 2, Sections 15, 16, and 17. And we received comments already from DEEP. They actually made it quite easy. So we got a very detailed letter from FEMA. There's about 3 pages with a bunch of references to their legal documents. DEEP then 2 days later sent us a letter saying, these are the sections that need to get changed. This is how it needs to be changed. Get it done before November 13th. So I want to go through and read it and make sure I understand the changes, and I'll follow up. Diane Ikovic at Deep sent the letter and is their flood manager, and she's really great to work with and has been very helpful. So if we've got any questions, we'll follow up with her, but that will be coming shortly as well so that we can get that done and out of the way. And there's not much discussion regarding it. It's mandatory in order for flood insurance practices to be maintained. So the maps have to be adopted and the regulation has to be changed in order for flood insurance to be maintained.
Okay. Does the town council have to approve them or just us?
Nope, it's our regulation, so it's in the zoning regulation, so it's just us.
And I'm assuming FEMA just kind of has a rolling, it keeps going through everybody in every place.
Correct. So it depends, and I honestly don't know how they select what their mechanism is for selecting where they're looking next to update maps. I want to say our last one was 2008, I think. So no, I don't know what their structure of prioritizing regions and locations are, but
Dartboard.
yes, they do.
Yeah.
They do go through and do updates on a semi-regular basis. Technology changes.
Yeah.
The intensity of the storms are changing, technology changes, and our ability to have the topographic information gets updated. And of course, development changes some of this as well. So the amount of impervious coverage versus forested or green area. So.
Have you seen the maps yet, or are they not released?
Oh yeah, no, there's draft maps.
Are there big changes that you're noticing?
Oh yeah. Yeah, in many instances, it has been modified, refined. So areas that had very wide floodplain areas have been narrowed and now more closely aligned with banks that we knew to be true. There are some areas, though, that it's the reverse, that there may be homeowners now that need flood insurance that had not in the past because of the updated analysis.
That was gonna be my question. Are the people affected, do they get notified? The property
I-
owners?
Honestly, can't remember. I can't remember. They notices, they were notified with respect to, we had notices that went out on the website with the new mapping. I can't remember. This has been going on back and forth with FEMA for 3-4 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Can they, do they have any recourse if they disagree?
Yep. So they can appeal. So, they'd have to hire a surveyor. So you can, there's letters of map amendment and letters of map change. There's different, there are different mechanisms for doing that.
Is that through us or through the government?
No, it's directly to FEMA. So it's a formal document that a surveyor has to fill out because it has to do with the specific habitable elevation of the home and then the basement elevation of the home with respect to the flood elevation. So that all has to, and it has to be on the datum, the same datum that the FEMA maps are on. So it has to be, it's a document that's filled out by a surveyor, licensed surveyor. And there are many of them for the town of Farmington already. So prior to this map change and update, there's already quite a number. So it's a fairly common practice.
Do they use, who would dispute it? Do they use an independent surveyor or does it have to be?
No, so the homeowner would have to hire a surveyor and have the paperwork filled out and then submitted to FEMA. And FEMA, it either is meeting the criteria or not. The surveyors are pretty well acquainted with what the criteria is, and they'll be able to tell the homeowner whether or not, most likely they'll be approved for a change or not.
Mhm.
But no, we don't have any say. We don't have any say really in the mapping. So there is a comment period with FEMA, but unless somebody is putting forth competing technical data, So you'd have to have hydraulic analysis and computations to try to refute something that FEMA's putting forth. There is no, it's not a comment that impacts them putting forth the mapping.
Interesting.
Okay, so that'll be coming. And we'll have that information coming through. So,
Interesting to see maps.
yes. Yeah, I can send you that. There's the preliminary maps that I think we're pretty close to the final. I'd have to grab the link, but we've got it. There was a link to the FEMA website that had all the preliminary maps. So it's like, again, just an FYI, and I don't have anything else for all of you this evening unless somebody has something for me.
My neighbor's working on his garage. He took down, he's taking down trees.
Exciting progress.
Yeah, but it kind of came over leaning against the fence to the playground, and principal's like, we're doing tree work, and it was just a little, nothing, it was no big problem. It was just a little like, hey, wow, we really are tight in here. Good old Noah Wallace. Everyone's
It's snug.
right on each other. So, but yes, I noticed that. Yes. So, okay, if anybody else, no one else has any questions? Nothing?
Oh, no questions, just an update. They have started putting in the batting cage over at Irving A.
Oh, great.
Yeah, all the framing's up. They should probably, we will have the fence up in the next couple days.
That's great.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Oh, and I read in the patch that the pickleball courts and the splash pad have officially been
And open, I
Dead
saw that, yeah.
opened, which is cool.
Yes.
That will be great.
Have we heard any more on New Britain Ave with the shrubs, the evergreen?
No, I can check in on her.
Okay. I guess if we're all set, we could hang around and chat for another 15 minutes. But,
Or
or we could enjoy this lovely evening.
Which improvements?
Okay, I know. So our last item on the agenda is the minutes of the May 11th meeting. I need a motion in a second.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes of the May 11th, 2026 Town Plan and Zoning Commission meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
Abstain.
Okay. Okay. So motion carries. Thank you very much. And I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you for coming.